Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we are watching episode 4 of Death Note. We just finished episode 3. We learned that Light's dad is one of the main investigators of the case of Kira. That was a crazy drop.
Huge surprise.
It's going to add so many layers into the stories later on.
It really does add so much more issues to... I mean, it basically shows us that, like, he is going to be faced with having to possibly think about killing someone close to him if they get in his way. Because already his dad and all of his dad's cop buddies are in his way. Yeah.
It seems that Light is being followed by somebody, probably the FBI. That's what I think they kind of led us to believe. Mm-hmm. Light is now taking the course of action of writing the time of day that these people will die in to throw off L or the cops, or purposefully act like he's throwing them off to play more mind games with L. Whew.
And L's loving it.
Yeah. We saw that L was in an enclosed room. We saw his computer set up and a little bit of him. I want to learn more about him. I want to know his backstory.
Where is he? Why is he in this room? Is he just living a normal citizen life somewhere? What if they're in the same country? What if they're students at the same school? I think we said that before. What if they were both students at the same school? I want to unpack and learn more about L for sure. I hope we learn more. I hope we get I wonder if the show is going to show us almost like they're walking paths at the same time of the show where they don't cross paths, but maybe we get to see what L is like actually in real life. Or is he going to stay this omnipotent? We only ever see him in this room, this dark room.
Yeah, he could be like a mirror of Light. Like, he's also the top of his class, and he also is like, oh, me? I'm just the top of my class, a normal high school student.
Just a normal high school guy.
In his free time, he is fighting justice and fighting for justice in his own right.
Yeah, it makes me think of Kim Possible.
I don't know how old L is. He looked a little young, but it can be deceiving.
Yeah, I think it would be really compelling if they happen to be almost mirrors of each other.
Yeah.
I think that would really work with the fact that they both, like we said last episode, are following this path of justice. They just diverge in how to go about getting justice.
And last but not least, we ended off the episode with the offer of Shinigami Eyes for Light in exchange for half of his remaining lifespan. Whew. Shinigami Eyes, they would allow you to see when the person will die as well as their name. We brought up how that could be very interesting if he's looking at his own family members and how...
I can't imagine that you wouldn't feel some type of way about seeing someone you care about. Obviously in this moment that we left off on, he was just so caught up in learning the information for the first time. But I wonder if he starts to actually think about the deal, if he would come to that realization himself. And I wonder if it would be worth it to him for the gain that he would get.
Is this offer always on the table? Or is it just now? Is he just I
mean, Ryuk might have been waiting to am I going to offer him this deal?
Could he revoke the offer?
Or he was waiting to see the signs in Light that Light would take the deal.
Yeah.
He maybe wasn't going to offer it until he thought that Light might be more inclined to take it.
Which could be the reason of him telling him about the FBI agent or somebody following him, so it could further along
and ensure that he gets more of the lifespan.
It's interesting, though, because Ryuk says that he's not on anybody's side, but it seems to me that Ryuk could literally just write anybody's name in his book and take those that lifespan. It seems like for his own amusement, he almost is offering up some of his help a little bit.
Yeah, he's choosing when to offer pieces of information so that he can keep the story going in a way that is amusing to him.
The lifespan of Light does not seem at all to be a big interest of Ryuk right now. It's more about giving him the Shinigami Eyes so that this could further the game along.
Yes.
All right, I'm ready to get into it. Yeah?
Woo!
All right, let's go. The art is so cool. Oh, these transitions.
Another 23 victims yesterday.
I love that he chose to do a person an hour.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Information, he'll be obligated to start investigating the police to find
Light thinks that he's ahead of the game. I think Elle knows all of the possible things Light could do.
Light could spend like 3 or 4 days writing down 1,000 names and picking an hour each day, and then just go cold and not use the death note for like a month to like lay low, and his actions would still be like, the killings would still continue.
But they wouldn't be triggered by anything anymore.
Exactly. So it would be a better thing for him to do on the run.
Is he gonna take the deal in this episode?
What'll it be like?
Ryuk around
Ooh, more Shinigami.
serious about losing his death note.
It was probably picked up by some human before he could get to it.
What? I actually heard he was carrying 2 death notes.
Seriously? Why would he need 2?
This Shinigami looks awesome.
Understand that guy.
Well then, do we have a deal or not?
You don't get to know how much of your lifespan you have.
This deal is out of the question.
I wonder if the Shinigami can change the deals. Like, they can counter offer kind of stuff, or it's like a strict
Like,
rule.
no, I'll only take a quarter of
Yeah,
the rest of your
exactly.
lifespan. 10 years.
And I intend to reign as a god in that world for a very long time. I might figured you of all people should know I wouldn't take this deal.
Yeah, I still felt I should tell you that the deal existed just in case.
Just in case, so he knows, like we said, if he sees Elle, but he doesn't know Elle's
Yeah.
name, he can...
I don't see why you couldn't have told me this when we met. Or better yet, you could have simply included it in the instructions for the death note.
Honestly.
Good. Sure there's nothing else you want to tell me ahead of time? Shinigami?
No, nothing else. Probably.
Flying around freely in the sky sounds very godlike.
Police would have no trouble finding you.
I
But
was
you could
only
just
joking.
fly away. With that expressionless face, he still looks like he's like so like, oh, this is fun.
I wouldn't worry. Even without the eyes and the wings, you're already a worthy Shinigami.
So he does that mean he does become a Shinigami when he dies?
Lead
I don't
meaningless and empty
know
lives.
yet.
And the truth of the matter is that we no longer even know why we exist. In fact, I doubt there's any reason for our existence at all.
I don't want to be compared to a Shinigami. I'm a human using this death note to make the world a better place for other humans. You told me just now that the Shinigami realm is slowly rotting, right? Why not use what you've learned here to try and change it for the better?
Well, Light, I'm not sure why I never noticed this until now, but you're quite the positive thinker.
That's why I'm using the death note to create a better world. You have to be a positive thinker to even attempt something like this. I think I just figured out how to find the name of the guy who was following me today. First, I need to know exactly how far I can go in terms of specifying the details of death.
Huh.
Should be interesting.
I have no idea what's gonna happen, and I'm so
So
here
now
for
he's
it.
back to practicing or back to exploring what he can do.
Bizarre behavior before they died? Could you be more specific? What do you mean? So they didn't just die from heart attacks.
So then it doesn't seem like it's him anymore?
Before one of them died, he drew a pentagram on the wall of his
What?
mother left a letter, but it doesn't seem to be a will or anything meaningful. And as for the third victim, he escaped from his cell and ran all the way to the staff bathrooms before he died.
Oh my gosh. He can make them do things before the death actually happens.
Is this gonna be harder for Elle to pinpoint if it was Kira?
It's believable that our victim might have been genuinely afraid and wrote this, but we know Kira can control the time of death. What if he can also determine the actions in the moments leading up to death?
I have reason to believe that Kira was performing some kind of test using these criminals.
We already know that he has access to police data, though, and so does Elle.
Look at this, Ryuk. I think we're in luck. The results of yesterday's little test have already been downloaded onto my dad's computer.
What if Elle makes it so only the information is on Light's dad's computer?
If
Like
he,
maybe
if he
it's
could,
information that only he knows.
if he could like narrow it down that much, then yeah.
Written in the death note, word for word.
What about a handwriting analysis?
With the first one, I wrote that he would die in front of the Eiffel Tower in 1 hour. Everyone knows that it's physically impossible to go from a prison in Japan to Paris, France in only 1 hour. He simply died of a heart attack in prison. The next was supposed to draw an exact picture of Elle's face on the prison.
Oh,
It also didn't happen. You can't draw someone you've never seen, right?
Makes sense.
He could get someone to admit who Elle was.
I know that Elle is suspicious of the Japanese police. But it didn't end up happening. Which means it's impossible to make someone write what they don't already know. Basically, even the Death Note can't do the impossible. But as long as it's within the realistic limits of what that person might do.
Like, if that prisoner was already afraid of Kira killing him, then it was realistic.
These latest victims will no doubt keep Elle and the police guessing. He's probably trying to decipher all the clues I left for him, especially that little note.
Could the pentagram and this letter be some kind of message?
To you.
Is this it?
All right, time for the real thing. I'll use him. It's kind of like
what's he gonna make him do?
find someone. Believe it or not, I'm actually a rather popular guy. Ryuk.
Is this the girl? No, it's a different girl. Darn. So he does seem to have friends that we didn't previously peg him to have. We knew people were asking him to hang out like once, but I thought he might be a person that was way more like, oh, we can't talk to him. He's so a loner.
He's still following me. Perfect. This whole thing would just be a waste of time if he wasn't tailing.
Did he ask this girl on a date?
Maybe.
A date?
Yeah. It's a date no matter how you look at it.
But this isn't just a date, is it? You said that you'd figured out a way to find your stalker's name.
He's using a girl as a prop, and that makes me sad. She probably likes him.
Is he gonna kill this girl?
Sorry, did I keep you waiting?
No, not at all.
During the week,
No, he's not gonna kill this girl. I want to know how he's going to kill the one drug lord criminal.
Light Yagami. No cause for suspicion. I'll be done with my surveillance today, and that'll be it.
Please don't use this girl's life as a prop.
Ew, you're such a nerd.
You're such a nerd.
The music in this show is fantastic.
This is such a different mood that it's creating than any. It's almost like a normal slice of life mood.
Oh my, how does he know that he's gonna get on the bus?
Did he make him do it?
Did he?
He made him do this.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna have the guy kill.
Stay in your seats unless you want to
Oh my
die.
God. He's gonna make him say his name out loud to announce his presence.
Do you think that this guy is under the influence of himself? Like, does he think
I mean,
that
this
he
is
came up with this
something he
idea?
would actually do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And don't make me wait. If you mess with me at all, or try to get the police involved, I swear I'll kill every one of these passengers.
He probably had it. He can kill everyone but Light or something in the instructions.
It's okay. We don't have to pass notes back and forth. As long as we keep it down, he won't be able to hear our voices over the sound of the engine.
Do you have any proof that you're not his accomplice? Why should we trust you? The first hijacker comes in like he's working alone. Meanwhile,
True. Oh my god.
Oh! And he's like, wow, of course this guy would be like this. It's the chief's son, you know?
Joyce, I'm sure Light Yagami isn't Kira. If he was, he could just kill this guy with a heart attack. Here's my proof.
Oh my gosh.
Don't kill this guy. Oh my god, I feel bad for this guy now.
his name is Ray Penber.
No. Please don't kill him.
That's right. This guy. His face was all over the local news just a few days ago. Some junkie. He tried to rob a bank and ended extremely dangerous.
Does this guy know that Kira can... The possibility that Kira can...
He might
tell
not be
them
smart
do
enough to like
things?
really connect the dots.
What the hell is that? Smart ass. You guys were planning something back here, weren't you?
Damn it. If he sees that note from before.
Plans for a date, huh?
Gotcha.
Who the hell are you? How long have you been hiding back there?
What's this? You're talking to me?
Was that a page from the Death Note? So we can now see Ryuk? He ripped out a page of the Death Note and wrote down that, so we touched the page, and now we can see Ryuk. He can rip out the pages of the Death
Ryuk
Note.
is like, yeah, this is so fun. Oh.
Torn from the pages of the death.
What?
Oh. So he's just using this as a diversion to learn the FBI agent's name, and he's gonna kill him at some other point in time.
As well as doing a test to see if the Death Note works outside of the book. It's
because if he killed the FBI agent now, he was on the bus.
Yeah.
That's more cause to believe that he was Kira.
Well, he is the top-ranked student in the country. He even used this hijacking as a way to get the guy following him to willingly give up his name.
Did Light write that?
Or is that just coincidence? This poor girl just had to go through all of this. Comfort her or something. You're on a fake date.
11:45 on the dot. Everything went just as I planned. Boards the 11:31 Spaceland-bound bus near the eastern entrance to the park. Sees a horrific phantom and empties his gun trying to kill it. Terrified, he flees the bus.
But he had to also put some things in place for it to not be impossible, like the note. He had to be there.
The Death Note never fails.
Is Light, can he control other people's actions? When he says that this man will be struck by the car, is he not influencing the driver of that car's actions as well?
Good question. Because obviously he decided on the guy on the motorcycle to be struck by a truck in an accidental death. Well, no, it was accidental death. I don't even think he wrote anything other than accidental death.
For that
Guy.
time, he said struck by a car.
So it means there has to be a car on the road. Maybe it makes it so the car's brakes don't stop.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Right what you said, like it makes it have to be that there's a car on the road at that exact time in that exact space going fast enough to kill somebody. Whew, that was a crazy episode.
This poor girl.
Honestly.
She's like, yay, the most popular, smartest, cutest guy in class finally asked me on a date. Like, she so thinks that this isn't such a strange thing to happen that he calls her in the morning and she's like, oh, hey, Light. You know, like, obviously they have some type of conversation already, some type of relationship. Maybe they're friends and she's into him. Maybe she's known him for a few years, but I feel so bad for her to... He's not even comforting her at the end. Like, he's just so focused on, oh, yes, my experiment worked.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, my God, I literally was just in a hijacked bus with a guy with a gun, and now I just watched him die. I am traumatized for life.
There was one part early in the episode when Ryuk and Light seemingly jokingly, they were talking, was saying like, oh yeah, if I got wings from you and eyes from you, I'd be slowly turning into a real Shinigami. And then Light jokingly said, oh, I'd be interested, kind of thing. I want to know the origins of a Shinigami. They're so old, or they've been in this routine so long, they don't even know their purpose or their origin. They don't even remember
where they came from or why.
Do you think that it's some sort of, if you use a Death Note, you'd become a Shinigami
that
thing?
Would make sense for slowly forgetting your humanity and slowly forgetting your past or something, you know?
Yeah.
If you're that far removed from your own death, I'm sure it would slowly get foggier and foggier. How did you get here? Why are you doing the things you're doing now?
I feel like there would still be some condition, like once you die after using the Death Note and become a Shinigami, you no longer have knowledge. Okay, like remember that if you give your Death Note to somebody else, you lose all knowledge of you having that Death Note. I wonder if it's like if you become a Shinigami and then you give your Death Note to somebody else or something, you have no knowledge that you were a human or that you had a Death Note or used it previously.
Maybe.
The fact that you can control somebody's actions
to
before
that
death
degree, even
is frightening.
I thought he was gonna do what I would think would be the dumb decision, which is try to kill the FBI agent in that moment. But it's so smart that he didn't, because obviously that would be way more cause for suspicion in Light being Kira.
He almost shouldn't kill the FBI agent going forward, correct?
I just wish he wouldn't. He doesn't need to now, right? Because the guy already is not suspicious of him anymore. He's ending his investigation. If Light has this guy die, it'll just be more cause of suspicion for Light.
I don't know. Actually, you remember how you mentioned, does this FBI agent know, like, the details about, like, the face and everything? Like, how Elle does? Maybe if the FBI agent, like, wrote up a report about what happened, then Elle could be convinced or have a theory that Kira could have been on that bus. This might have all been a plan to get...
So then you're saying which is more suspicious?
Yeah.
Killing him and he being on the bus and being the one he is literally only investigating Light. That is his job. That has been his job for the last couple days, week or so. So is it more suspicious killing the guy that's investigating you, that the police know is investigating you, or letting him live and letting him say exactly what happened on the bus, but with his personal notes of Light is not a suspicion?
Yeah.
Which is less suspicious, which is more suspicious. They both equally have possibilities of being super suspicious.
You can take pages out of the Death Note
and have someone touch it.
And they still work, like, presumably, right?
Which is, like, so... I mean, it is a magic book.
Do you have to write in the Death Note before you rip it out? Can you rip it out and then write on it? Is it, like... that is so crazy to me. You could always hide the book and just carry a sliver of paper with you always, but then you risk having somebody touch it, like...
Yeah. I mean, you could, like, keep it somewhere hidden.
Yeah.
And, like, just, like, a tiny, tiny piece of paper. That'd probably be the way to go to, like, be able to use it out in public. Is, like, a tiny, tiny piece of paper. Like, keep it, like... In modern day, someone could keep it, like, in their iPhone case. Yeah. In their phone or something.
That was, like, one of the first times we really saw a good reaction to Ryuk. Like, and all his glory and terror.
Yeah, because Light was kind of like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And like... a human reacting to that and being so terrified. Because I can't imagine seeing that. Watari is the guy in the mask who's the representative for Elle. I lost his name, but good to have it again.
I love that he used Ryuk there. Because he just learned a few episodes ago. It's like he's constantly growing.
Yeah.
His knowledge is growing, and so he's constantly experimenting. Improving. Like in science, like he's hypothesizing, and then he's putting an experiment forward to check on his hypothesis, and he's handling this like he's a student and like he's studying something. Awesome.
Getting into the series, like after the first episode even, I thought all the rules were kind of like presented to us and that's what we were going to go with, and I was happy.
Yeah, I thought that was like it, basically, like how to kill someone. The
like nuances and how far you can really go with each rule and how they're explaining it is so much fun to watch, and I'm so excited to just keep learning about this universe and seeing what they do with it.
Yes. I love that it has to be something realistic for the person that you are killing. It has to be something that they already know about. Like, he had to use the pentagram. Everyone knows what the pentagram looks like. For the most part, I would say most people know what that looks like. Mm-hmm. So it is something that is already in their brain. And then the letter. They already know Japanese. They already know how to write. They already know of Kira, probably. I'm sure all of the inmates are all talking about it because an inmate in the same jail as them has probably already died from Kira. So they're probably already scared of Kira. So that was, Do
you think he'll start utilizing the message thing more? Do you think he'll start leaving messages by his kills to, like, incite people, like incite the public or incite, like, the police officers or other inmates?
Maybe he already sent one to Elle.
Yeah.
What did it say?
It was something to throw him off, right?
No, I thought it was like Elle, did you notice? Or Elle, like, checking to see if Elle, like, hey Elle, did you see what I just did kind of thing? But I don't remember the exact words that he used. It was like the top line of the letter, I think.
Yeah.
From left to right.
Dude, I'm so obsessed with this show.
This show is so good. I don't know why it took me so long to try it, to watch it.
I love the music. The way that they can convey so much tone with it.
It's
is
like
so
almost
impressive.
like the show flips on what the theme of the show is. It went so, the music just went so slice of life, happy, just chill, not threatening, not overly gospel. Like, it was a huge tonal change. I'm really glad that we decided to watch this show. It is so good. There's so much to unpack, so much to think about, so much to theorize.
How small could you write? So
I can write really small.
So like you're taking a page out of the Death Note, you rip it up into little tiny pieces of paper or like whatever, and then you get like specialty equipment to write small. Like
it's like when when you had tests where it was an open note test, but you could only use a note card, and they'd always challenge you in school to like, oh, here's a note card that you can use, and it was always like the smallest note card possible.
You can put all of your notes onto this one note card.
Oh, I was so good at that. That was like my thing, and everyone come exam day would be like, how did you get all of that? Can you even read it? And I was like, yep. You know, I was that person that had it be as small as possible.
There's so many different like routes you could take going forward. Using the fact that somebody could see Ryuk that we just learned about 2 episodes ago was awesome.
Because obviously you'd think if someone suddenly sees a Shinigami in real life that looks like Ryuk probably does in real life, which would be terrifying. If you suddenly saw that, even if you weren't like a criminal, you might go like a little insane and freak out.
Yeah.
Maybe not even a little insane, maybe very insane. Especially if it's talking to you or walking towards you and it doesn't just like disappear upon first sight. Huh.
The confidence that Light is like showing to us, I was gonna say he was risking all these lives on the bus, but to him it's a certainty, right? To him, he knows that nobody on the bus will die except who he's accounting for.
Yeah, and he knew that the FBI agent would try to protect him. It's almost like, I don't think he would have put, especially the girl he knew, because obviously he doesn't want anything bad to happen to the people he knows in real life. I doubt he would have put her in that position if there was uncertainty of if it would go the way he wanted to. He is cocky. He is confident. He trusted that at least the people he knows, him and the girl, were going to be fine. I mean, he even passed her a note not to worry. Like, he knew. And yeah, that probably came from, like, to keep her calm. But yeah. I think it was genuine. Like, don't worry. Like, I'm going to handle this. Obviously, he said he was going to handle it by taking the gun, and he wanted the other guy to read that. But I think part of me thinks he actually did also want to give both of them a message, separate messages. He wanted to give the girl the message that he was going to make sure she survived, which he did. And then he wanted to obviously give the FBI agent a message to, you should do something because I'm going to do something and you don't want me to do something. You should do something.
Do they finish the date? They couldn't.
I feel like the girl might be like, okay, do you still want to go? And he'd be like, nah, my business is done.
Really though, does Light, like next episode, is Light acting terrified? Is Light's dad, I'm sure, going to be like, oh my God, are you okay?
Like he was scared by this.
Yeah, or
he has to play victim of bus jacking.
Yeah.
And seeing a man die. I mean, obviously, he supposedly should not have seen anyone die in a gruesome way yet. And I'm sure his dad's going to be like, oh my God, that happened to you. I'm so glad there was an FBI agent on that bus, but I can't tell you why there was an FBI agent on that bus.
Yeah.
And...
Okay. I'm good. I'm good.
The show is so good.
I can't wait to learn more. I can't wait to watch more.
I can't wait for Ryuk to tell us more things that we're going to be like, why did we not know this from the beginning?
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.